FTUE stands for First-Time User Experience. It refers to the initial interaction and impression that a new user has when they first encounter a product or service, such as a mobile app, website, or video game. In the context of video games, FTUE encompasses the player's introduction to the game, including the tutorial, onboarding process, and initial gameplay experience. A positive FTUE is crucial for engaging and retaining players, as it can influence their overall perception of the game and their likelihood of continuing to play. More about FTUE? Let's start. When you start playing the Fishdom mobile game, the first-time user experience you will have will be with Tina, the turtle of the aquarium. The first thing Tina will ask you to do is fill in your name. Personal acquaintance with a character from the game is a very common thing in many types of FTUE games. Such a character creates a real connection between the player and the game and is an excellent tool to show important actions. Before the gameplay of the game, the creators of Fishdom decided to present the store to the player so that the player could perform the main action in the game, buying fish and various objects for the aquarium. Only after the store is presented, Tina shows the player the play button to go to the gameplay of the game, and there the player can earn money to buy in the store. The first stage experienced by the player is not standard. It is a kind of bonus stage implemented to match the advertisements that brought the player to the game. I will go into more detail about this in another video. As the player moves up the levels, there will be fewer such bonus stages. Only in the second stage of the game does Tina begin to explain the gameplay of the regular game. A very important characteristic of the first steps in the game is to make it as easy as possible for the player. The first steps should be easy, simple, and quick to explain to the player what he should do as best as possible. As the player progresses in the game, there will be fewer explanations, and the level of difficulty of the stages will increase. Also, every time the player gets to know a new gameplay mechanic or a new feature, it will be necessary to bring Tina back again to give a friendly and personal explanation. In the mobile game, Zuba the FTUE feels a little different. Unlike the game Fishdom, here the first user experience is actually the gameplay mechanics of the game. Here too, we have a character who accompanies the player and explains to him what he must do until the stage where the player meets the character and fights him. In this case, the tutorial character is a lion. Here, too, the player is allowed to learn as easily as possible the commands relevant to the success of the stage. Pay attention to the ease with which I finished the first stage. Only after winning the FTUE stage will the player enter his name and get to know the game's main menu for the first time. The first time the player plays a full arena, they will have textual guidance at the top of the screen, and they will also play against bots on a relatively easy difficulty to ensure a friendly and non-threatening gaming experience. At the end of the stage, the player will begin the process of learning the main menu in the game. With the help of the lion character and a finger that accompanies the process, he will learn what crates are and how to get them, where you can replace and upgrade the characters, and what you need coins for. Far after that, the player will start a battle against other online players for the first time. Of course, they will also be beginners.
Welcome to Rise of Kingdoms. The journey of your civilization starts here. From the depths of obscurity to the peaks of legend, you will be the author of your civilization's history.
The next game I want to talk about is Rise of Kingdoms. Similar to other games, here too there is a character that communicates with the player to create a more pleasant and personal tutorial. In this case, the first-time user experience given to the player is the possibility to choose the desired empire according to the logo and the preferred general. This experience gives the player a stronger connection to his empire and, of course, to the game. Each general will bring with him different abilities for the progress of the empire, a different design for the future buildings, and also a different sound and background music that suits the type of general chosen. In many games, intro videos are a type of asset that is used for a more convenient entry of the player into the world of the game. Also in Rise of Kingdoms, the player will watch a video to connect with the history of the game and to understand where he came from and where he will go in the future. Speaking of videos, have you already subscribed to the channel? This will help us in the future videos we will create for you. Only after the intro video does the player's first user experience begin, and again, the guiding character makes a connection between the player and the theme of the game. In this case, there are additional characters that will serve as a kind of secondary characters that connect the plot of a game and create a wider experience of a story. With the help of a kind of biblical tool that serves as an arrow, the player will be able to understand what to press to proceed to the next stage in FTUE. Connecting the story of the game with the FTUE creates an excellent harmony for a new player and an increased desire to learn more. You can see that Rise of Kingdoms, Zuba, and Fishdom also make use of a character who accompanies the player and guides him in the beginning. Arrows or fingers are used to show the player what to click on, and of course, text bubbles that help the player read the instructions simply. Each game chooses its central mechanic, and that's where most of the player's training is focused. It is important to remember that at the beginning the player is allowed to win easily and simply to understand the game better. Along the way, the player's level of difficulty will increase. That's it. I hope you learned something new about one of the most important features in the world of games and digital interfaces in general. If you liked the video, please click on the like button and share it with friends. Thank you very much and see you next video.